The history of Ethiopia, according to tradition, begins circa 2500 BC, about 4,500 years ago. According to tradition and legend, it begins with an ancient Cushitic kingdom whose king was called Septah, and the Kushite dynasty would last half a millennium until it was attacked by the ancient Indian kingdom. The Indian kingdom, believed to have been led by Rama or Ramachandra, an ancient king now worshipped as a deity in the Hindu religion, invaded Ethiopia during the time of the Kushite king Piori. The progenitors of the ancient Sabaeans and Himyarites of Ethiopia and Yemen, who had fled from Mesopotamia from constant attacks by the kingdom of India and had entered the Kushite kingdom, gathered their forces and appointed a king to lead them and defeat Rama. Their king was called Akahunas, also known as Saba or Shiva II. Saba and his forces would resist the Indian adversary and kill the warlord king Rama, setting Ethiopia free, and would take on the name Agazian, which in the ancient Ethiopic Semitic tongue means liberators, and their language would be called Ge'ez. The Joktanite Semitic Ethio-Sabaeans called Agazian would then rule Ethiopia for 1,000 years with the Kushites until the time of Queen Makeda, known as the Queen of Saba, or Queen of the Ethio-Sabaean Kingdom. A contemporary of the Israelite King Solomon, Makeda, referred to as the Queen of the South or the Queen of Sheba in biblical sacred history, was a woman who sought wisdom and, hearing about the greatness of Solomon, traveled to the north to the Israelite kingdom of Judah to meet with him and learn his wisdom. Solomon, mesmerized by her grace and knowledge, would impregnate her. When traveling back to her kingdom, the Queen Makeda would give birth and name the child Bain al-Hakam. This is Ibn al-Malik in the Ge'ez tongue, or Ibn al-Malik in the Arabic tongue, most commonly known as Menelik I, the son of the King Solomon. Menelik I would be raised in Ethiopia's vast ancient Sabaean kingdom, which encompassed lands in the Horn of Africa and South Arabia, and once grown he would visit his father, the King Solomon, in Judea. Tradition has it that Menelik I returned with the most sacred relic of the land, the Ark of the Covenant, and Israelite followers from Judah. The Ark is said to have been in Lake Tana in Gojam for 800 years before being taken to the ancient city of Aksum. The Solomonic dynasty would begin with his ascendancy and last for 3,000 years. The origins of Ethiopia's Aksumite Empire are believed to be in Menelik's Ethiopian Sabaean Israelite monarchy. Aksum's empire will become among the greatest in the globe and one of the earliest to be declared a Christian state. It had northern and southern dominions which extended to modern-day Eritrea and Arabia, central and southern Ethiopia, and parts of Sudan. Toward its end, Aksumite Ethiopians in Yemen were massacred en masse by Persian forces who arrived by ships, and overnight the kingdom's economic and trade power would collapse. Following this, the kingdom would be sandwiched by non-Aksumite forces north and south, and its gold mines and resources captured. It would then be violently attacked and ransacked by pagan or Jewish Queen Yodit, who would burn Aksum and execute all of its princes except 2 survivors. These are Ambasa, Wudim, and Dilna'ad. About the year 900, the remaining Solomon princes then fled to Shoa from modern-day Tigray, and a portion of the population was displaced and situated in Shoa and other regions of Amhara, as Yodit had made Christianity illegal in her dominions. Succeeding Yodit, a kingdom with kings such as Tantaudum, which will convert to Christianity and produce king saints such as Lalibela and build wondrous monolithic churches, was established in Lasta called Zagwe. The descendants of the Aksum princes who fled to central Ethiopia established a court in a province called Beth Amhara. The Zagwes thrived for over 300 years, building a mystical kingdom with rock-hewn underground cities, but war with the pagan Damod kings called the Matolomi would eventually shake their kingdom. A prince of Beth Amhara from today's Boru Maidan Wello called Yikunno Amlak claimed descent from the Solomonic princes who fled to Amhara during Yodit's reign and would challenge the authority of the last Zagwe kings with the powerful Abuna Tekla Haymanot's endorsement. Yikunno Amlak incited a rebellion in Shoa for the restoration of Solomon's dynasty. He surrounded himself with Amharic-speaking royals and made Amharic, the royal tongue, the official language of the court. An agreement was made between him and the Zagwe heir that the crown shall be transferred to Yikunno Amlak's line not the descendants of Zagwe shall not pay taxes, and that they would co-rule as kings of the old province of Wag and surrounding dominions as Wag Shums. The restored Solomonic dynasty will then reclaim lost territories and implement a sophisticated administrative and military system similar to Aksumite times. The age following Ikuno Amlak's reign until the 16th century will be termed Golden Age, reuniting all Ethiopian ethnic groups under one political center with the ascendancy of an intricate and powerful civilization.